Hello and welcome to the University of Law. In today's video I'm going to be unboxing Doctor Who Cass, which has just arrived. So obviously it's been out for a while, but finally I've got the physical CD in the post. So for the first time ever we'll get to go over the packaging together and I'll give you my thoughts on the drama itself. So obviously this particular box set follows on, it's technically the 8th Doctor Time War 5, so it follows on from Time War 4. Obviously Time War 4 ended on a great cliffhanger. Spoiler alert, the Doctor was given access to his great-grandson, Alex, once again, who had been believed dead since To the Death, but he's been rescued and we're not quite sure how. And what I love about this box set is there's a number of things in the box set that shouldn't really exist, and yet they do. So we'll dive into that in just a second. So here we've got the artwork on the front. We've obviously got Doctor's great grandson Alex. We've got Cass, with the box set's named after Cass, was obviously from Night of the Doctor. We've got the 8th Doctor with Screwdriver, and we've got the Dalek as well. And we've got a guest star who I believe was Di in the Flux story with Dan, with the 13th Doctor. So here we are on the book. We've got our blurb, Doctor Who Cass. We've got 3 stories: Meanwhile, Elsewhere, Vespertine, and Previously Next Time, by James Moran, who famously wrote for David Tennant on screen. And obviously Tim Foley and Lou Morgan are 2 very seasoned Big Finish writers, particularly when it comes to the Time War. So let's get this. Oh, actually, I haven't spotted. It's the new logo, isn't it? On the front and on the back. On the side, it's nice how they got it to kind of go lengthways as well. Doctor Who Time War Class. They have got the 5 on there actually. They haven't said Volume 5, but they have put a 5 on the side. Now this is always the tricky bit for me, is getting the case off the cardboard. Here we go. It wasn't too tricky actually at the time. What's nice actually is they've got again on here on the side. That's really nice. Look at that. So same artwork front and back, and we've got a disc, and under the disc we have got, if I can get it off, the first 4 volumes of the Time War for the 8th Doctor. Yeah, so this is the first story, Meanwhile, Elsewhere. So obviously the last box set ended with the Doctor separated from Bliss. I think Bliss is with the General back on Gallifrey. The Doctor saved the day. He's in the TARDIS, and there beside him is the body of his great-grandson in hibernation, ready to be awakened, a gift from the Dalek Time Strategist. And that's how we left it. And we assumed he was off to go and pick up Bliss, and we go from there. Well, we pick up here, and it's just him and Alex, and there's a few subtle hints to Bliss, and at this point we just think that maybe something's happened or he's, upset because she's gone. But it becomes apparent through the box that actually he doesn't know who Bliss is. Time has been rewritten. Now we know full well that Cass is who literally him and Cass meet for the first time minutes before both this incarnation of the Doctor and Cass herself pass away. So there's no way that they could have met. This doesn't take place after that, so it must take place before, and yet it's clearly their first encounter. So there's something not quite right. Time is being rewritten, and obviously it's a Time War, and I just love the fact that it says in the extras that the actress of Bliss is so successful with other projects that she, however much she wanted to be available, she wasn't available to record this new box set. But it's worked to their advantage, they can just carry on, and it becomes a part of the story. Bliss's absence is a real part of the story. This is a nice piece of timey-wimey. It comes together really, really well. And it's a great introduction for Cass. It was such a well-written character anyway from Night of the Doctor, and it just comes along so well in this story and continues through the box set. I'm going to say about this box set is the TARDIS team in here. You'd think it was, it's probably one of my favourite 8th Doctor teams. It's so upbeat and jovial and adventurous, and I just love the humour and the rapport that the characters have got. It helps obviously that the Doctor and his grandson have obviously, they are father and son, the actors in real life, and obviously Cass is someone who he's played off on television as well, so the chemistry is just wonderful between all 3 of the characters, and the team works so well, and it's like a favourite TV team has come to audio. You wouldn't have thought this was their first ever set of adventures. It really does feel like they've been with us for years, and I'd love more of this team, please. I know in the extra, Sonny McGann, who plays Alex, does mention that there's something in this box set that mirrors his last ever scene with Lucy Miller, how that episode started. Now, I can't quite remember that far back, but certainly he's going to spot in there's some lovely parallels in this box, lovely Easter eggs for fans as well. So we've got the booklet obviously in here, with the artwork on the front, and inside we've got the information about each story and cast and crew, or cast photos as well. And on the back we've got a credits list as well. So that's, oh, I know, this is disc 2, this is Vespertine. This was a really nice story, and the plot thickens here. So as I said, there was little mentions of Bliss in the first story, and it kind of inferred that, you know, that they'd parted away, he was a bit upset about it. But in this story, we find that there's someone who knows the Doctor, but the Doctor doesn't know him. This story had a real feel to it of, it felt like Trial of a Time Lord, The Terror of the Vervoids. It had that feel to it, where the Doctor's kind of got this history with this old captain. And yeah, but the Doctor doesn't remember meeting him, but he clearly knows him. And there's some great timey-wimey stuff for the Time War. That works really well. That's carried through really nicely. But with some really great characters, some really great kind of motivations. Won't give too much away. But the big thing is that in trying to find out what happened in this guy's past, this guy who claims to know the Doctor, what happened in his past, Alex and Cass revisit his past, and they find the Doctor with Bliss. And obviously we don't hear Bliss because the actor wasn't available, but you clearly know that Bliss is meant to be there. He mentions Bliss, and straight away you realise that this has happened, the Doctor's done this already, but he doesn't remember it. And Alex just has this feeling, he says we need to go, and he just has this, first you think, oh, does he know about Bliss, does he know what's happened? He said, I don't know how I know, I just feel, he says to the Doctor, he said, I just feel that it was from, because the Doctor said, it must be from my future, it must be from, and he said, no, this is definitely from your past. So the plot's thickened there. And what I love about this box is that it's not answered, and we're going to have to wait till volume 6, which I think is next year, to carry it on. But that's a nice story, and also it gives a bit of depth to Cass, because the whole story is she's going to meet one of her heroes, so it gives us a little bit more idea about her, and it's true to the character for television. Although she was only in a very short episode, the whole idea of her, you know, being on a ship and being passionate about that, and being quite young for someone on a ship, this box set really kind of takes the little details that we got from that short and really runs with them. And then of course we've got Previously Next Time, the two-parter. We've got part 1 and part 2. What's underneath here? Oh yeah, advert for the latest 8th Doctor box sets with Liv and Helen. Yeah, so this is a great, again, another timey-wimey story. And yeah, I mean, all 3 stories I really enjoyed. They were all so different, but obviously this was the big epic ending. Again, I'm going to say again, timey-wimey, and great cliffhanger at the end of episode 1. It's really well paced, really good world building. It all comes full circle really nicely. There's a great bit at the start where they kind of joke about the Doctor's sure that there was 4 of them at the start of the episode. He's sure there was 4 of them. At the end of the episode, time gets rewritten to save the day, and in the process, Cass disappeared. And the Doctor says, I'm sure there were 3 of us, but it's just me and Alex. And it's left with just the Doctor and Alex. They've forgotten who Cass is. They don't know who Cass is. Obviously, that kind of explains. So it could be that that's the end for that TARDIS crew, which I'd be really upset about. I'm hoping it continues into the next box set and we get a resolution. But clearly, the implication is at the start of the box set, at the start of the story, Bliss was travelling with the companion, and it was a group of 4. And time gets rewritten, because they do reference how they might have been through that loop several times. Time gets rewritten, Bliss is gone, and now by the end of the story, Cass has gone too, which makes sense as to why he doesn't know who they don't know who each other are in Night of the Doctor, because time's been rewritten. However, I hope we get to see Cass again, because this TARDIS crew work together so well. Obviously, it makes sense for the character and for continuity, but I just love it if they could kind of explain what's happened and get some more stories out of them before they find another way to get her back. Or even just set some box sets in between Vespertine and Previously Next Time, because they work so well together. But yeah, no, I absolutely loved this box set. It was a lovely surprise, because it was announced not long before it actually was released, so it was great to get it so quickly. But what are your thoughts? What did you think of Cass? Did you enjoy it? What are your thoughts and theories about this and the next volume, do let me know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. I look forward to speaking to you soon.